Welcome back, guys, to Trails to Azure, where last episode, the Chapter 3 Day 3 patrol continued from our Mainz Village and returned to the city with the downtown district, where we entered the Geofront D sector for a monster extermination, defeating the golden crickets within. The patrol now continues. Alright, several to report. Taste of Crossbell. Hopefully that's all good. We didn't fluff it. It was on a short, so... Driven to the brink is complete. No 5th class coming, but... Money! Thanks for reports, everyone. If you finish more support requests, please let me know. That is all our support requests done already today. Think of that as you shall. Let's continue our patrol then. We got the residential district, the Cathedral, mines. Let's go up that side now. So we start with mines and come down into the residential district. Because that will be our last bit far out. This patrol's going pretty fast. What's going on with that? Suspicious! We're definitely having 2 patrols today, right? Place your bets now. Of course, everyone's indoors. This rain is so relaxing. We don't get many guests on days like today, so I'm just going to take it easy. Guess you wouldn't. I finished transporting today's Septian load earlier this morning. If I'd done it after the rain picked up, the road would have been too slick and muddy to get any traction on. Knowing when it's safe to drive is a skill all on its own. Good man. Rainy days are the worst. The floor gets all wet and then I have to mop it. Can't Carlos eat any faster? I want him to go home already. Mean? Mean? No one's staying at the inn. Is Nielsen still here? No. That is a definite no. Weather can be rather temperamental here in the mountains. At times, the rain gets so heavy that bus services have to be suspended. Today isn't one of those times, but nevertheless, take care making your way around. There's been talks of large mysterious monsters appearing throughout the state, not to mention that creature sighted near the train accident yesterday. Could they perhaps be related to the monster that appeared in the old deserted mine? Whatever the case, we'd best tread carefully. Everyone's safety depends on it. Please don't get got. Stay indoors. Should actually be a warning that goes out for that exact thing, shouldn't it? Stay indoors. Do not leave. Oh, walking in the rain without an umbrella, I see. Not bad, not bad. It's nothing like a man soaked to the bone, his clothes clinging to him. Okay. More and more people are setting off to live in the city these days. Fortunately, we have boys and girls with plenty of Mainz pride who are here to stay, like Logie and Amy. Nothing can make me happier. I've lived here all my years, after all. Mainz pride. You must not leave. Please do not leave. Take care out there, everybody. Rainy days like this are no laughing matter in Mainz. One false move could send you tumbling down a cliff. It's more likely than you think. Max and I grew up here, so we've been warned about this sort of thing since we were kids. Okay, I'm just going to say, has any of this happened since you were kids? Has anyone tumbled down? Oh, it's the warnings. They did a good job. Yeah, I get you. Do you have any example of this? Right. Let's continue on. Daddy always looks so sad on rainy days. Maybe it's because he misses being a miner. I love Daddy just the way he is. I could do my best to cheer him up. It was a rainy day like today when I injured my leg and had to retire from being a miner. Even now the damn thing still aches. That's why. Secret backstory. We probably heard before, to be honest. It's too raining to play outside. This sucks. When's Dad getting home? I want to play already. Yeah. Mine gets awfully cold on rainy days. Not that the miners particularly mind. They'll dress light for work no matter what the weather is. Goodness me, I just hope they don't catch a cold. The mine gets awfully cold on rainy days, and yet the miners still dress as if they're in a sauna. Dress for how you want to feel. I guess it's that. Not how you do feel. Thanks to Gans, I've been able to refocus myself on my work. I plan on returning the favor by picking up his tab tonight. Oh wow, Gans, what a play. This morning I dug up a gigantic sapphire crystal. That sucker was this big around, no fooling. I've been kicking all sorts of ass at work these days. Only had this kind of luck at the casino. I mean, the stuff you apply yourself at is going well. Rainy days in the mines are the worst. It's so cold I can barely stand it. I guess it would warm me up if I moved around more, but too much work. Between cave-ins and monster outbreaks, we miners put our lives on the line all the time. How do we manage to tough this job out then? By trusting each other and taking pride in our work, that's how. I'd say the others are starting to realise that fact, the way we've all been coming together as a team lately. As chief of this mine, I'm blessed to lead a crew like the one I've got. As a miner, you have to put your life on the line every day, so maintaining trust between one another is crucial. Elise's crew. Full of trust. We've almost made our way to the rock layer we've been aiming for. A boatload of septine awaits, so I've got to keep on digging. But you keep digging this metal pipe. I don't understand. Explain to me how this works. I guess they're always just at their equipment, aren't they? They're not actually mining at the time we see them. Right, well that's mines done. Next stop, Cathedral. Wonder if going back to the Rosenberg studio could yield anything at this point. It's another rainy day in Crossbell. That of course will mean fewer people braving the highways to visit us. That's what you worry about. Footfall? Donations? I don't know. Tell me. Over time, exposure to the elements will cause the inscriptions on a grave to wear away bit by bit. That sadly leaves the legacies of their owners to be forgotten by most. As a gravekeeper, my job is to tend to the headstones and prevent that from happening. What about the one at the top, then? When grave inscriptions are exposed to the elements for so many years, they begin to fade, just like the memory of their owners. Yes, I know, but the one that's obviously lost a lot? Oh wow, she didn't actually come. I guess the rain is enough to put paid to things. This one here, super lost. Into the cathedral we go then. I just knew something was off about yesterday from the moment I got out of bed. Then I found out that a train had come clean off the rails. Fortunately, it didn't have any effect on my business, but still, how horrible. It's easy to slip on the floors inside on rainy days, so please be careful. That may be coming from personal experience, but it could happen to anyone. Phew, am I glad we didn't have Sunday school lessons scheduled today. If the children saw me sprawled out on my bottom, I would have lost the last bit of credibility I have. I had the fortune of witnessing Sister Juju fall straight on her backside just now. That got a laugh out of me. Oh, sweet Sister Juju. Will that girl ever overcome her clumsiness? Seems a bit mean for you to do. As a member of the church and her superior, God. I'm told that yesterday's derailment on West Crossbell Highway was quite dreadful indeed. Praise be to Adios that no innocent lives were lost. We had a brace of visitors earlier today in search of information. Two of their own, Lynn and Aeolia, have gone missing. Sadly, I have not seen them in the cathedral as of late. I pray that no ill has befallen them. I'm told that yesterday's derailment on West Crossbell Highway was quite dreadful indeed. Indeed it isn't. From safely escorting our fathers and sisters to retrieving medicinal ingredients, Lynn and Aeolia have done much to place us in their debt. I pray that no ill has befallen them. No Sunday school. I hear there was a large monster spotted near the train derailment site yesterday. Would you all happen to know anything of note about that? Actually, we do. Lloyd briefly explained what had happened when they went to investigate the train derailment the previous day. So, pleroma grass has started to appear in Nox Forest, and Gnosis has made a return as well. The most pressing matter is where he obtained it from, or who, I should say. Have any ideas on your end? I'm afraid I don't. The church doesn't know anything more about the cult and Gnosis than it did before. As for the pleroma grass, I'm still in the middle of researching what causes it to bloom, with no answers to speak of yet. Unfortunately, I'm the only member from the Congregation of the Sacraments here, so this may take a while. I figured that was the case. We can wait, Reese. If you make any breakthroughs, you know how to reach us. Of course. So, pleroma grass has begun to bloom in Nox Forest and Gnosis has made a reappearance. I'm still undercover, so I'm limited in how much I can do. That said, I'll contact you the moment I find any answers. Sister Tina is scheduled to teach Sunday school lessons in our Marika village today. As luck would have it, we seem to be in for pouring rain all across the state. I do hope she manages to keep dry. We didn't expect it to rain though, so I do hope she manages to keep dry. She'll be fine. She is fine. We've seen her. I don't think she was wet. Alright, we'll leave you be here, car. Enjoy the outsides. Residential district is next. Do you think the high bloods are here? I mean, I know they're... What isn't? Their car. Oh, they might be down the police station. They haven't been released yet. We've seen more rain than usual this year. How am I supposed to dry the laundry like this? Inside, I guess you'll have to do it. It'll be a bit stale, though. Yesterday's derailment came as a shock. There's been many a fiery dispute about whether it was caused by falling rocks or an enormous monster. I'm beginning to wonder the same thing myself. People have presented all manner of theories as to what caused it all, but which is the truth, I wonder? And he's never in, is he? Never in at all. I still need to go that way to check. Like, I'm pretty sure this is still locked off, right? So you have to, like, walk through the whole place again. But I need to check out the fishing spot. Do you know what I mean? That was one where one of the bigger fish came from before. Harold is at Belgard Gate for the delivery, but I'll admit I'm a bit worried for him. What with that giant monster that was reported along West Crossbell Highway yesterday? He should be okay. Look, there's a froggy stuck to the window. He looks kind of cute squirming like that. Why is there a frog stuck to the window? Better not to ask questions how the frog got stuck on the second floor. Unless it's not a real frog, of course. That would work. I was thinking of lazing around today since I don't have cooking lessons. Oh, I know, I could experiment with those stovetop cookies I learned to make yesterday. Maybe I'll try mixing in some chocolate chips into the batter this time around. I'll invite Granny for some cookies and tea once they're done. Henry's gone out to play even with this weather being the way it is. Now, I'm not going to go around demanding that he stay inside on rainy days, but he'd better stay warm and dry at the least. I don't want him catching a cold. Nothing damns a good suit like a rainy day. The humidity's a surefire style killer. That's why I've got to make sure I keep my party frets pressed dry and looking fly. Sure thing. Where should I head to next? We've done the residential district already. We've got the back alley admin district, entertainment district, and that's it. We're actually done. Oh, that's you. Crap, my makeup's been running all day thanks to this stupid rain. I'll have to redo it when I get inside again. We could make a loop of it. Except for the whole back alley bit of it. Hey there, want to play? Why don't you get yourselves out of the rain into our nice warm casino? Not going to be any people in the street after all. In a little over 24 hours, Arkansas will be opening its doors for its revival show. You know what that means? We'll be getting more guests soon too. I can't wait. We're expecting a big rush of guests tomorrow, you know. I bet. The Civic Center is hosting a public forum today. I might take a look for myself later. Keeping up with current events is important too. The referendum on Crossbell's independence is right around the corner. I could use more time to think it over myself. It isn't easy to decide what would be best for our future. I think we should head down the back alley now. Rain or shine, our doors are always open for a good time. You're more than welcome to take shelter here at the roulette table, if fortune favors you, that is. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm not trying. I racked up loss after loss yesterday, but today is the start of my comeback story. Just you wait and see. Doubt. I can see how we'll be lifting the curtain on its revival production tomorrow. Supposedly they'll be debuting a new rising star to follow Risha Mao. The rumors swirling around that troupe never fail to entertain. I hope it goes well for Sully. It's a bit of a pressure position to be completely whacked in on. You know what I mean? Well then, what bar should I hit up today? Rainy weather's the perfect excuse for day drinking. I'm gonna get hammered all by myself and I'm gonna like it. I head to the back of the admin district, then I'll come up and get the rest of the entertainment districts. Just trying to think of like a logical route, do you know what I mean? Though the central square kind of cuts it off for us a fair bit. Hey Eric, you don't need to talk, just sit down and do a shot with me. Can't keep sleeping here, Sandra. Don't you have a home to go to? Oh, he's such a jerk, Eric. Eric's such a jerk face, isn't he? Trying to run poor little me out like this. I do love a man that plays hard to get. Or do I? Oh no. What's the answer? They say some kind of monster was responsible for the derailment on West Crossbell Highway. But given the timing of the upcoming referendum, I'm not so convinced this was just a random attack. It all feels too convenient. It is not a random attack. It is way too convenient. We would agree. There is other reasons behind it. Man, screw this rain. It's washing all my potential customers out of the streets. There was a big ass incident yesterday too. Not my fault I can't pull anyone into the club when the whole world's conspiring against me. Oh, we need to reset Eris now. Listen up, I've got some big news. Guess who made Hostess of the Month? You're looking at her. Yes, 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 I knew I could do it. Number one at last. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. Of course, now I'm going to have more sessions than ever. Making it to the top of the hill is one thing, but staying there will take my very best. Melda's back. Oh, we didn't check out that house. Detestable rain. It's driving away what few customers I have. I suppose it's time for the daily dusting anyway. Why don't you do an old woman a favor and clean that shelf there for me? We'll pass, thanks. That was a joke, boy. I wouldn't let anyone lay a single finger on my priciest antiques, much less a cop on your measly salary. Forecast Renewable Net says that the weather should clear up this afternoon. Not just going to bring me any more customers today. Give me this. I could easily make the money in between sessions. It just feels a bit of a cop-out, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was no good way to make a circle here. But, well, city library. There should be people hiding away. Another rainy day, huh? I'd better stay out of the basement archive so that no moisture sneaks its way in. Still the sweets. I heard that there have been some out-of-the-ordinary monsters appearing throughout Crossbell. They're said to be strikingly similar to the ones written about in the church's testaments. What could be causing such a phenomenon? If we had access to the knowledge left behind by the ancient Sumerian civilization, I'm sure we'd have solved this mystery by now. No, I shouldn't tempt myself asking for the impossible. It'll only make me lose sight of what I can actually accomplish. No, Kia? I heard they're holding a public forum at the Civic Center today. The topic is state independence. It just reminds me how close the referendum is. I'll need to decide which way I'm voting soon. You will? Let's see. Mom, what does this word mean? She doesn't know. That's going to be awkward. Well, we can check out the Civic Center. I'm guessing the juice stall isn't on. One more day. One day more until Arkansas's revival performance. I can hardly contain my excitement. This downpour is all that's keeping me from bursting into flames. But any luck, I should be able to keep my cool. For now, that is. For now. There's a couple of people here. There's nothing quite like the ambient noise of a drizzly day. The pitter-patter of water hitting the pond, the umbrellas, the ground. Each unique sound comes together like a little raindrop symphony. Good outlook. We're currently holding a public forum on state independence in the hall to the left. Feel free to attend if you're interested. I think I will. Let's go right first so Lloyd can tell us we really can't go in here. The public forum is proceeding smoothly. I pray it stays that way. The last thing we need is an uproar at the Civic Center. Alright, let's hear about this independence stuff. Oh wait, you mean this way, don't you? That's a thing to walk in on. Our current system is far too forgiving on foreigners, especially those from Erebonia and Calvard. Well, still, we have no choice right now but to pay these countries 10% of our own tax revenue. How can any self-respecting Crossbell justify such a policy? These abuses will continue indefinitely if we refuse to stand up for ourselves. Is that what you want for our people? What utter nonsense. The grim truth is that independence simply isn't tenable in Crossbell's current condition. Suppose we're invaded by another country. How will the CGF defend us when they have not even a single tank at their disposal? Another country? What you mean to say is the Erebonian Empire. We've all been keenly aware of the threat they pose since the day they installed those railway guns at Corellia Fortress right in range of Crossbell City. While state became independent, its abundant wealth could easily finance tanks, patrol ships, and anything else necessary for our security. The only question that remains is whether our people in leadership have the courage to do what must be done. Obstinate fools, wake up and accept reality. Not forgetting that Crossbell's prosperity is largely due to the mirror that flows in from Erebonia and Calvard. If we cut ties and declare independence, that well will dry up in an instant. Everyone, please settle down. It's Representative Campbell. The real issue at hand here is whether such a high-handed independence proposal will even be accepted by the international community. Isn't that something we've overlooked? The international community has nothing to do with this. Crossbell's independence is something that concerns us and us alone. It's our only hope of achieving justice. You have nothing more than a convenient mouthpiece for Calvard. What makes you think you have a voice in this? Oh, well, yes, I am a part of the Republican faction, so to speak. However, I can say with confidence that my love for Crossbell is as great as any citizen's. I demand an apology for this insult. The rain ain't putting a damper on this shindig. They're going out like animals over there. Yeah, there are way more citizens here than I'd expected too. Seems the young up-and-coming independent faction is in a heated debate with the leading Imperial and Republican faction representatives. If this doesn't perfectly reflect Crossbell's current climate, I don't know what would. They all appear to be making sound arguments at the very least. This isn't a problem that's going to be solved so easily by words alone, though. Moreover, these are the same points of contention that have been raging since the state was founded. Perhaps it's high time something was done to put this discussion to rest. Agreed. There's really only two answers here. Sovereignty with an uncertain future, or servitude without justice. A heated argument can be heard coming from the hall. It would probably be best not to enter. We're not joining in anymore on this. We've had enough. That's enough politics for one day. I can't sanction this politics any longer. Hey guys, I heard the SSS was working hard on the job yesterday. Finding more information on Ouroboros, getting to the bottom of the derailment. Seriously, way to go! I wouldn't be so quick to heap the praise on us. People who were up until morning repairing the railway deserve far more credit than we do. Come on, don't be like that. You guys were doing overtime until late last night too, weren't you? Just don't forget to look after yourselves. Your health should be priority numero uno. Thank you for your concern, nurse friend. Hey, I like the sound of that, but for real, you're in for a tough shift too. So take some of your own medicine and don't overdo it. Don't worry, I won't. It looks like a few more support requests came in today as well. No pressure, but don't forget about them if you got the time. Well, I promise I won't overdo it in here while you guys are working hard out there. My lips went weird then. Thanks to the Guardian Force, the Transcontinental Railroad was able to resume service this morning. Luckily, they pulled it off before the first service of the day, so schedules didn't have to be modified. The CGF really is something, isn't it? This wouldn't have been possible without the Guardsmen's perseverance. The fact that they managed to do it, though. They know how to build a railway, or rails at the very least. Combat notebook. We did get another fragment. What did we get? Page 3 of Information Terminal 2 on Gnosis decrypted. We're not through another one yet. It will tell us when it wants to tell us, no sooner, right? So Gnosis is back. We're looking into Ravash's old smuggling routes for any traces of it. I can't help but feel like we're not going to find much, though. Anyway, there's no point in racking our noggins on doubts and reservations right now. All we can do is snuff out each possibility one by one. I just can't figure out how Wold Wells got his hands on Gnosis. If it wasn't through Ravash, then where the heck did it come from? We are so almost done with the patrol. Hey. These kids have been a real pain in our behinds, but at least they're being cooperative for once. Oh yeah, Kate absolutely blew their eardrums out earlier too. Maybe she finally got through to them. I guess we got a little carried away this time. The car's totally wrecked too. Maybe we ought to lay low for a while. Seriously, they're going to suspend our licenses for a month even. You got to be kidding me. I just removed their licenses entirely in Crossbell State. Try to force them to go back home, right? You all did an excellent job in the reckless driving case. Just leave these punks to us and we'll sort them out. Feel free to call us again the next time you need to make a joint operation. Clearly, we still have a long way to go as a state when it comes to enforcing laws against foreigners. Today's case is a big step forward, though. There's no room for the police of all people to get disparaged by the situation. Discouraged, don't you mean, rather than disparaged? I think they'd mean that. I mean, you can read the board outside the Civic Center. I mean, I read it once before, I guess. Public Forum. The time has come to consider the pros and cons of state independence. Program outline, expert analyses on the ramifications of independence. Open forum hosted by active Crossbell Diet members. Location, Crossbell City Civic Center, Multipurpose Hall today, and is sponsored by Crossbell City, Crossbell News Service. It is indeed. Right, I'm gonna warp over to the downtown district. We are literally at the end of our sweep. The last thing we have to do before we can carry on with today's story, which is really good, except for the fact that I've noticed the time has ticked away. It has ticked away indeed, so it's time for the bedtime story. So I've been considering where do we want the music to be. We want this music, right? With the rain in the background. ASMR rain, yeah, sure. Put rain on any music and put it up on a YouTube playlist, right? That's what we do. Better late than never. We've got most of the outdoor bits. We've got the moving outdoor segments. We've got the hotel to do. We've got Arkansas if we can go in to do. But we're pretty much done. And we will be done by the time we start next episode. But for now, it's time to read our way out. For we got Chapter 9 of Sunshine Agnes. 22 Cards of Fate Part 2. A 9-page thriller. No Randy jukebox music? Oh, that would be a good idea for future. Yeah, you're right. Tiz seemed even younger than she looked. The way she asked about the meaning of each and every card. As the girls sat side by side at the counter, Agnes continued performing the reading. The results were adequate. Let's see. From what the cards are telling me, your papa's work is finishing up well. Everything should be just fine, Agnes smiled. Tiz beamed with gratitude, but it was actually Agnes who wanted to thank her. The overwhelming anxiety had vanished and she felt more like herself again. She waved goodbye as Tiz left shortly after, doorbell chiming as the door swung shut behind her. Now then, what about Ed's fortune, Agnes thought. She sat at the counter and carefully gathered the cards. Her palms were sweaty, but she tried to ignore them. It's not important, Agnes muttered. When it came to more serious readings, Agnes always used the same procedure. First, she would make a fervent wish, then draw a single card. In Agnes's case, this was the most reliable method. Alright, Ed, just what are you up to? Miss, you dropped one. Huh? For some reason, Tiz was once again standing beside her. The girl crouched and picked up a card from the floor. Agnes took it and thanked her. Glancing down at the card, she suddenly froze, as if she had been petrified. It was death. The Reaper's card. Agnes was overcome by dizziness, and in her daze failed to notice Tiz's departure. The leaky faucet stopped dripping. Cards on the deck shifted. Then one after another they rose from Agnes's left hand and floated in the air. But the solitary object of Agnes's focus was the card before her. Death. A heavy thud brought Agnes back to consciousness. She looked up and saw Kagemaru staring back at her, pushed on her head. At that moment the tarot cards hanging in the air fell to the floor. Kagemaru! The cat hopped nimbly onto the counter and pointed his drowsy eyes at her as if to say, "What do you think you're doing?" I know. I was just a little surprised is all. Agnes muttered to herself as she gathered the scattered cards. For whatever reason, her uncle and Perdue hadn't noticed anything. That was careless of me. I need to forget about all this and get back to work, she thought. Then again, Agnes placed the death card on the counter and drew a card from the now reshuffled deck. She couldn't read the same fortune twice, so instead she tried to focus on whatever it was that Ed had been chasing this past week. For our next story, yet another traffic accident occurred at around 1:40 this afternoon. The orbital radio buzzed, having turned on by itself. I must be putting too much power into the reading, Agnes thought. After shaking off the dizziness, she turned her attention to the newly drawn card. The sun, reversed. In other words, darkness. Agnes pondered the potential meaning of the second card. There had been more accidents than usual lately. Perhaps darkness was linked to those events. Maybe Ed found a lead on it somehow, was stepping into the darkness alone. Kagemaru meowed chidingly, a languid expression on his face. I know, but Perdue and Uncle haven't noticed a thing, Agnes retorted. She reached for the deck of cards again, but stopped herself midway. It would be faster to ask the Eton news staff about Ed's whereabouts. She hurried to the orbital telephone beside the clock and called the office. Eton News, how may I help you? Oh, Brandon, sorry to bug you, but around noon, Edward ran off somewhere to work on his article. Do you happen to know where he went? Ed, Brandon chuckled. What are you talking about? He's been here working at his desk since this morning. Agnes's face went pale. Ed was at his desk? No, that can't be the real Ed, she thought. Outside, a piercing sound echoed from in front of the cafe. Agnes watched through the window as a crushed orbital scooter sailed through the air and careened into the street. Its driver seemed to be dead before it even hit the ground, and yet Perdue and her uncle continued to chat as if all was right with the world. Agnes shook them by the shoulders, but neither reacted. She had no idea what was going on anymore. Then the world began to violently shake beneath her, and she squatted in place. Agnes was just now beginning to grasp the depth of the terrible power running amok in Anchorville. I've got to stand, she thought. As she pulled herself up, Agnes peered over at the death card on the counter. For now, it was the only truth she could believe in. Things are happening in this story. They're moving onwards. And people are getting killed. And no one notices or cares. Well, with my Sepith obviously gaining quite a bit down here, that's quite a nice amount. We know money ain't going to be a problem. We could probably open some slots, in fact. Well, that is it for this week of Trails to Azure. We continue on next time with the finish of this suite, which will basically take us like 4 minutes. I could have done it, but it was getting late and I really want to eat some food. But we'll get that done to start off with. Want to have it done. And then, is that the conclusion of this day we're reaching? Day 3. We'll find out next time for more. Oh, bye-bye.